And good evening, everyone. Welcome to our webinar series on training transfer effectiveness. It's a pleasure to have you here. We started this webinar series January 30th. Yes. So we've really gone far in our webinar series. So if you want to catch up with what we've been doing, please go to our YouTube channel and I will drop the link and you can catch up with other videos, because it is every week we are building up. So if you're unable to catch up with today, when you go and watch the video, you will catch up. So every week we are building up. So it's not something different that if you attend next week and if you attend this week, if you don't attend next week, you'll be fine. You may not be fine. So there's a need for you to keep attending. If you're unable to attend, watch the video. There's a build up that would help you. So I'm saying the training transfer effectiveness journey continues. So for people like Dolores Kramer, Dolores was here last week, Thursday, so it continues. However, I think the people on the call today are new. We have Chioma Nyamu. Welcome, Chioma. Amara. Welcome, Amara. And I see Hamzat. Hamzat is new. Welcome, Hamzat. I see Joy Akintayo. Welcome. These are new people to the webinars. At least I think I know some of the people that have been coming. So for you that are just joining us for the first time today, I would say the training transfer effectiveness journey begins. It's beginning for you. So I believe you'll be able to follow through. So ensure you watch those videos on our YouTube channel. So welcome again. So glad you are here. Please introduce yourselves on the chat box. Introduce yourselves in the chat box, please. Tell us where your name. Okay, we can already see your name. That's fine. Tell us where you're joining in from and what's your role in your organization. Or are you an entrepreneur? What's your role? Or you're an employee? What's your role in your organization? Please. So just type in chat. Tell us where you're joining in from, because I can see your names already. Where you're joining in from. Are you joining from Lagos, Nigeria, outside Nigeria? We had some people joining from Ghana last week, Thursday. Where are you joining in from? So I see Joy Akintayo joining in from Lagos, L&D officer. Welcome, Joy. I see Amara. Amara is joining, is in Abuja, and she's the lead consultant. Welcome, Amara. Welcome. So please feel free to, and I see Abubakar joining in from Lagos. Abubakar is an HR manager. Welcome, Abubakar. Welcome. So please feel free to type in. Dolores, you can just type in so that others will also know you. I know you already introduced yourself last week. If you don't mind, if it's not going to be a problem for you, you can do type in. So welcome. And I see someone else that just joined us now. Welcome. I have to continue. Catherine, welcome. Okay, so let's move ahead. So this is me. Dolores already knows this because I shared it. Okay, Chioma says she's joining from Abuja. She's an executive assistant. Welcome, Chioma. I shared it last week for those that were Dolores just joining. So for those just joining in, this is me. My name is Sandra Iheanacho. I'm called the Oracle. And I'm a training transfer effectiveness advocate. That's what I use now. I am a training transfer effectiveness advocate. I'm advocating for training transfer in organizations. Our organization is on a 5-year mandate from now to 2030 to work with at least 500 businesses to help them show return on investment and return on expectations for all, and I mean all, I don't mean one, all their training initiatives. And so that is what I am doing. I'm advocating for training transfer effectiveness. I'm a mother of 5 children. I'm an IFC Global Master Trainer. I work with the IFC. I also work with the LPI. I'm so sorry I've not put that again. I'll put it. LPI, please forgive me. LPI is the Learning Performance Institute. I'm an assessor with them. I assess trainers globally and certify them. So we do a train the trainer and I certify them that they have the right international competencies to be trainers. I'm also a transfer enabler for Africa. So for the Institute of Transfer Effectiveness in Austria, recently they made me the transfer enabler for Africa. What does that mean? I'm in charge of ensuring that organizations in Africa start institutionalizing, start putting in all their training initiatives, they show a training transfer. So that's what it is, which is exactly what I'm doing. So working with businesses in Africa. I'm also the Nigerian first certified transfer designer. With them, in Nigeria, I'm the first. In Africa, I'm not the first. I'm a resource person with the Lagos Business School. I teach on leadership in the Lagos Business School here. I'm a certified transformational coach. I'm a certified team and group coach. I'm a certified Kirkpatrick professional. I've been a teacher or trainer, whichever you call me, for the past 26 years, both formally and informally. And I say, when you stop learning, you start dying. So if you can see now, soon to be certified, those are certifications I want to also do. I keep learning, and when I finish with this one, I'm going to do more. The more the moment you stop learning, you start dying. And so I love learning. And so let's move ahead straight and dive into what we have for today. Now, we are talking about the critical success factors. We started 3 weeks ago. So that's why I said you need to go and watch our videos so that you will be able to follow through. We started 3 weeks ago talking about the critical success factors. And what does that mean? Now, before I continue, what is training transfer effectiveness? I need to just help because we have more people that are just joining for the first time. So briefly, let me just quickly so you can be able to follow through with us. Training transfer effectiveness is the continuous application of everything your employees that you sent on training have learned, and they come back to the business and they apply it. That's what training transfer in a short word. That's what it is. Training transfer effectiveness. It is what? The continuous application of everything the employees learned in the training. They come back to your workplace, they come back to the business, they start applying it. And not they apply it for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Everyone goes to their old ways. No. It is sustained. It's sustained. It is continuous. It is sustained. So that's what training transfer effectiveness is. So if you go and check the video, you will see what training effectiveness means, because it's something different. Training transfer, what it means is also different. Then training transfer effectiveness is also different. So I just gave you training transfer effectiveness because of that's not what I'm talking about today. At least that helps you. It is a sustained application of everything employee learned. Is it the knowledge? Is it the skills? Is it the behavior they learned in training? And they come back to the business and start applying it. The sustenance of that, applying it all the time, is what we call training transfer effectiveness. And when we started 3 weeks ago, we said there are some critical success factors for every business to have, to look at if they want to ensure that the performance comes to play, performance happens. If your people go for training and they come back and they want to apply that, and these 5 things, you don't put it in perspective, I tell you, quote me today, I tell you, training transfer will not happen. Training transfer, learning will not happen in your business. Performance will not change, nothing. And what are those things? We said training transfer does not happen in isolation. No, it is influenced by several organizational factors that determine whether your employees successfully apply what they learn or not. And that's what we are talking about. It determines will they successfully apply what they learn or not. That's what this critical success factors is all about. And we're going to be looking at, and we said there, so without the right support structures, without the workplace conditions, the right workplace conditions, without leadership involvement, even if you go to Harvard, you go to Oxford, you go to MIT, when you come back, you will not be able to drive any measurable performance improvements. There will be no measurable performance improvements. So these 5 things must be in place. And what are these 5 things that must be in place, which we call the critical success factors? They are 1, the employee; 2, the process; 3, the line manager; 4, the workplace; and 5, the trainer. I take that again. You will see it in our subsequent videos. 1, the employee; 2, the process; 3, line manager; 4, the workplace; and 5, the trainer. And the trainer here means either an in-house trainer or an external trainer. So, some organizations, you have your faculty, in-house trainer or an external trainer. So this is just what I said again. Even the most well-designed training programs will fail. They will fail if these things are not put in place. If these 5 things are not looked into. The employee. And so last, we've spoken about the employee. And what does that mean? Are your employee ready for that training? Are they motivated? I didn't say you should motivate them. Well, I'm not a motivator. I'm not a motivational speaker. All those motivational speakers, I'm not one. When I say motivation, I mean that, so for what you should do for your employees is to create an enabling environment for them to motivate themselves. You cannot motivate somebody. What you do is you create the enabling environment and the person motivates himself or herself. So when I talk about motivation is, do they have every reason why they should go for this training? In them, do they see the wiping principle for them? What is it in for me if I attend the training? That's what I mean by motivation there. So we've looked at that. Last 2 weeks, we looked at that. I think I see something. Okay, Chioma said, okay, I've read that. So we have looked at that. Do they have the capability to apply the learning? Last week, we looked at the process. Now, when we're talking about process, we looked at how do we align the workflows, the procedures, and the systems to ensure that it drives performance. There's an impact. We spoke about that last week. Now, today, what are we looking at? We are looking at what I call the COCO, the line manager. We are diving into the line manager. Now, I came up with something. So there are a lot of models I've been coming up with, and I've been coming up with various ideas, with various things as a result of my years of experience and years of research and years of training and consulting. And I discovered that there are two people that ensure training transfer effectiveness take place. Not two people, let me call it, I called it the art and the science of training transfer effectiveness. The art and the science of training transfer effectiveness. Now, the science of training transfer effectiveness lies in the HR. What does that mean? What is the science? The science has to do with models. It has to do with the science has to do with models. The science has to do with frameworks. The science has to do with designs. So that is the science. Now, the art of training transfer effectiveness has to do with the people that ensure that this works, which in most cases the line managers, because these are the people that work with these employees that are sent on training. So we are diving into the line manager, and I'm so excited. And we're going to treat this with a case study. I see someone that's just joined in. Funke, welcome. Please just tell us, drop in chat where you're coming, where you're joining in from. What's your role? Are you and Scholastica also welcome. What's your role? Where are you joining in from? Please just drop it into chat. Thank you. Now we're going to treat this with a case study. How many of us are ready for this case study? The line manager, we're going to treat this with a case study. If you're ready for the case study, let me know in the chat box. Say, yes, I'm ready for this case study. How many of us are ready for this case study? I will not continue. Okay, I can see chats. Let me see. Okay, I'm ready. Amza says ready. Joy says, yes, I'm ready. Awesome. Choma says, yes, I'm ready. Awesome. Okay, so people have given me, do you know what you did? You created a motivating environment for me to motivate myself by saying those things. Yes, I'm motivated now. Now, what is the role of the line manager? The line manager's role is to create a climate that encourages application of learning, a climate that encourages follow through, a climate that encourages continuous growth. That is the work of the line manager. And I'll take that again. The work of the line manager is to create a climate that encourages learning, that encourages application of all they've learned in the training, that encourages continuous growth, that encourages follow through. That's the work of the line manager. Now, there's a difference between culture and climate. That's a story for another day. I'm not going to go into it. But note that there's a difference between culture and climate. If there's time during Q&A, if you want the answer, I will give that to you. Now, the case study is when line managers don't support transfer effectiveness, what happens? Let's see what happens. When line managers, the team leads, the supervisors, the managers, they don't support. See the problem we get when they don't support. Let's look at it now with the case study. This is called Inconim Logistics Limited. It's an organization, and these are real case studies. They are real case studies, yes. Okay, so I see. Thank you so much. I see. Funke says she's joining. She's a trainer joining from Lagos. Welcome, Funke. Scholastica says I'm from Kenya, a nursing officer in charge at the hospital. Thanks. Welcome. Now, this Inconim Logistics Limited, we are using them as case study. I'm not going to use that. It's not their real name so that nobody will go and check them out. I don't want anybody to sue me. They are in the supply chain and distribution industry. Now, they had a focused training. They wanted to train their warehouse supervisors. And they said that they're going to train their warehouse supervisors on customer service excellence. They went to meet HR and told HR, please give us a training on customer service excellence for our warehouse supervisors. Why? What was the challenge? They said that HR did not even ask them what is the reason. They just told their HR, we want a 3-day customer service training for our warehouse supervisors. And what do we want to do? We want to improve their communication with their clients and with internal teams. That's what it is. That's what they want. And HR, as HR will do in most times, I'm so sorry, HR and L&D. If you're HR, if you're L&D, I'm so sorry, but this is what it is. Line managers, departmental heads will come to you and say they want a customer service training. You don't even do anything. Don't even ask the why. You don't even go, why? Is it really necessary? What you just do, you just look for a training and send their team on that training. A lot of line managers, a lot of HR and L&D do that. I'm in HR too. A lot do that. So that was what this HR person did. I don't want the boss's problem. You want 3-day customer service, they got trainers and they did sampling. Different trainers pitched. They chose the best trainer in the pitch and they said, conduct the 3-day customer service. They did. They did a 3-day customer service training. And guess what happened after the 3-day customer service? This is what happened. After the training, 1 week down the line, 1 month down the line, 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, there was no noticeable improvement. How the supervisors were interacting with customers did not change. The complaints were still coming. They were not managing complaints well. Complaints even grew on the higher side. Nothing changed. Nothing changed at all. Now, let me ask. It's now time for you, attendees in this webinar. What happened? What went wrong? Before you answer that question, see what leadership now said. Leadership said, wait, are you saying that we spent over 20 million naira? Let me use naira because I'm in Nigeria. In dollars, I don't know how much that is in dollars. Okay, let me just say $50,000. Are you saying we spent $50,000 on our supervisors, warehouse supervisors? Because this is a big organization. They are very big. And nothing changed. And leadership was saying, please, what is the essence of this training? And they're already thinking about they're going to cut training down. No more training in this business. How can we spend $50,000? Nothing has changed. Now, my question to you people. What happened though? Who wants to answer? You can type into chat or you can unmute your microphone and speak. It's now your turn to speak. What went wrong? What happened? And leadership is saying that no more training, no. People are on your own, no more training. Who wants to help us? What happened? Because this is an interactive session. As I speak, I ask you questions. You also speak to make it more, not me just talking, right? Who wants to try? What happened? Okay, I can see something on the chat box. Okay, so I see Amara says that, let me read what Amara says. A lot could have gone wrong. Is the line manager doing what is preached? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Amara. Any other person? What happened? What happened? $50,000. Hey. Investment gone. Can see why they call you HR. You are a cost center. And when you want to talk, they don't give you chair. You want to come and sit down on the chair, they will throw away the chair or they will break the chair. They won't allow you to sit down there. Who gave you the right to sit at this table? What's the value you're adding? What's the value you're adding in this business? Your own is just to be talking training. Abubakar says, training needs assessment was not initially conducted. Okay? Keep it coming. Any other person? Let me see what else I have on the chat box. Scholastica says, the design and processes were not put into consideration. Okay? Any more? Okay, let me continue if there's no more so that I'll not keep you here. We'll be able to cover up everything. Now, let's see what happened. Now, have you heard of this before? Do you know that there are 3 phases in training? Is anybody that is aware of that? If you're aware of that, say yes. maybe with emoticon, or you type in the chat. If you're not aware, say no. Do you aware? Okay, Joy says yes. That you're aware of the three phases of training. Okay, do you want to list it for us? What are the three phases of training? Or what are the phases of training? Let me ask that question. Okay, Scholastica says no, she's not aware. That's fine. Joy, if you say yes, what are the phases? Is there any other person? What are the phases in training? It's a KSA. Okay, Amara says, Amara, do you want to break down what KSA means? You want to break it down? Choma says, perhaps there was no follow-up after the training, like an accountability of some sort. Yeah, okay. Now let me move ahead so that I don't. Now there are three phases in training. Thank you so much, Amara. There are three phases in training. We have what we call the pre-phase, during phase, and post-phase. I'll take that again. There are three phases in training. We have what we call pre-training phase, during training phase, and post-training phase. We were able to, my organization where I work, we came up with a model which we use for clients. It's called the PDP model. So the PDP Training Transfer Effectiveness Model. That's what we call it. And that's what we use for clients, right? That's also a part of what I'll be sharing with you. I will share with you people as we do these webinars. It's a model that has made your life easy for you. It has made our life easy with our clients. It will make life easy for you. Now, the pre-training phase, there are things that must be done before the pre-training. If you don't do those things, you're going to have a problem. There are things that must be done during the training phase. If you don't do that, you're going to have a problem. And last but not the least, there are things that must be done during the post phase. If you don't do that, you're going to have issues. Performance will not be measured. One, you will not even be able to evaluate performance. There will be nothing like performance. Performance will not even, there'll be no impact, there'll be no performance. What I found that organizations rest more on during the training phase. They get a very good facilitator, a trainer that can speak very well, that has everything. They have the gamification, the activities, the case studies, and everybody's on a high. They love the training. They give the trainer 5/5 and all that. That which is what in Kirkpatrick in evaluation, what we call level 1 and level 2. They look at the level 1. What HR they're fond of doing? Did you like the food? Did you like the trainer? Did you like the venue? That is foul. That's not the thing that will drive performance. That is not what will give you the impact you want as a business. That's another. We know as I said, we are growing gradually. We are building momentum. Let me not get there because we're going to get to evaluation. Let me not talk about it. And that is what a lot of organizations stop on during. They don't do the pre-well, they don't do the post-well. How do you want to now see return on investment, return on expectation? So let's look at this. Still using the case study. Let's use our case study. No managerial involvement. The problem, employees were randomly selected for training. No criteria were used. This manager, I like Scholastica. Scholastica, is your turn to go for training. No, training, some organization, their training is turn by turn. Hey, Scholastica, is your turn, or you go. Another organization is whom the line manager likes. I like you. There's a training in Harvard Business School. Where you go. Let me tell HR that you need it. Go. Employees were randomly selected for training. No criteria were used. They just, like the selection I just gave you. Secondly, managers did not discuss expectations with employees before the training. They did not discuss the learning objectives. When you get to that training, what will you learn? What are you going to use it to do? All those conversations, they didn't have it. Employees, they saw it. I like Scholastica. Scholastica, sorry, it's not you. It's not you on Scholastica. Permit me to just use. I like using the people on the call so that everyone will at least will have a bearing, as in, so you're not the one I'm talking about. Scholastica just said, they sent me to Harvard, let me go and enjoy now. Per diem, you know how much it is now, dollars that they give you as per diem. So employees just saw it just as another training with no real connection to their job roles, because it did not talk anything that will apply to the roles they are doing. Now, what happened? So this was the problem, because there was no line manager involvement. Line manager just gave HR the names, and HR went, and line manager went to sleep Did not do anything. This was before training, which was very critical. Now, what happened? Let's look at what happened. Employees attended the training and they did not see any relevance to their day-to-day work, to what they are doing as a warehouse supervisor. What is the connection between this training and what they are doing? They went to eat the food. They ate the food. Was very beautiful, so nice, good environment. They even slept over in 5-star hotel. That was where they did the training. Some supervisors were already skilled in customer service. Some said, this customer service, I've done it before now. The same thing they're telling me to do again. I've done it before. Why those that are struggling, they were not selected for the training? Those that did not need the training were the ones selected. Now, a reflection question for you. This is where I will pause now and ask you. A reflection question for you. How can you expect a training to be effective when no one checks if employees actually need it? Please, who wants to reflect on this? You can type into chat or you can unmute your microphone if you want to speak. But briefly, so I'll be able to go through the 3 phases. How can you expect a training to be effective when no one checks if employees actually need it? Okay, let me continue. I'm sure someone will type into chat. If you want to type into chat, please, or you want to unmute, just let me know. Let's look at the phase 2. Okay, I see something on chat. Amara said needs assessment was not done. Yeah, but you know our question is, what's our question? How can a training be effective when no one checks? So if the employees actually need it, so they don't even know do they really need this training? Just like what you said, Amara, the needs assessment. Apart from the needs assessment, did you even go deeper? What would the training do for them? Did you go deeper than that? Thank you so much, Amara. Let me see, is there any other person? I think I can see something on chat again. Okay, that was from Amara. The training will not be effective at all. Thank you so much, Amara. Now let's do phase 2. What is phase 2? Phase 2 is what? During training phase, right? Good. Now let's see what happened during the training. This organization, $50,000. What was the problem? The training was delivered, yet there was no single connection to the workplace challenges that the people were having. So they got one guy that is a motivator that can talk. You know, there are some people that can talk. You enjoy their talk. At the end, you say, what exactly did I gain? He will make you, or she will make you to laugh. You laugh. All your ribs are breaking from laughter. You're enjoying, having fun. At the end, when you get on, your head comes down again. You say, exactly what did this trainer teach me? So what did I gain? The problem, the training was delivered. There was no connection to the real workplace challenges of the staff. What was the problem again? The manager did not even check with the employees. When the first day they finished the training, they came back, they did not even ask them how far, because they are residents, so they didn't come back. So at least reach out to them. How far? How did the one go? What did you learn? Is it really adding value from all the things we did? Well, they did not discuss anything, so how would they know? So they did not even check in with the employees or say, okay, for day 2, what do you think? What would they be teaching? How can we reinforce your learning? Babu, they did not do it. Employees sat through the sessions. They've come to tick box. They did not feel that there was no need. Are we going to? Is there any urgency to? We don't need this thing. HR just sent us. Line manager just sent us to fulfill all righteousness. It was my turn to go to Harvard. It was my turn to go for this training, and I went. That was the problem. And many more. There can be many more. Because of time, I just brought some. There are many more, but let's deal with just this one. So now, as a result of that, what happened? Employees went back to work and forgot most of what they learned. I'm sure you know of the forgetting curve of training. They forgot most of what they learned. Will you blame the employee? I don't know if I should blame them all. Training became an event rather than a tool for improving performance. Training became a checkbox. Training became it's your turn. Training was not strategic. Now, my question for you, reflect on this one. If managers don't show interest, why should employees take training seriously? Especially employees who were not motivated to attend. Maybe a manager wanted to deal with somebody and said, you will go for this training. I said, okay, but I've gone for this. I said, you have to go for the training. and the person did not want to go for that training. What do you think will happen in those 3 days? Someone that doesn't want to go for training, and they say by force and force the person to go for that training. Let me see what I see something on chat box. And Amara says back to status quo. Over status quo is even worrying these people business. That's what happens. Now let's go to the last phase. Let me be faster now. I don't want to keep you more than 8 p.m. we're supposed to end. Let me go to the last phase, which is phase 3. Phase 3 is what? Post-training evaluation, right? Post-training evaluation. Now, in the post-training evaluation, there was no follow-up, no reinforcement. What does post-training mean? I'm sure I explained that earlier. It means that how do we reinforce what they've learned to ensure that they keep applying that thing they've learned? There are various things that must be in place. If you have not done it in pre-training, let me tell you, you cannot even do anything in post. You may decide to start maybe, okay, we learned something from here. Let's see what we can do. Something may happen. However, because post-training is when you do evaluation. In pre-training, that is when you do measurement. What is measurement? Measurement is when you analyze and take data, and based on that data you've taken, you now come up with objectives and come up with what you are looking at to achieve. So that when you come to the post-training evaluation phase, you're able to evaluate, did that training help us to meet our objectives? So if you did not define the pre-training, you did not define the objectives, you did not get the data, how do you want to evaluate? What are you evaluating on? If you ask me, I don't know who I will ask you. I see a new chat on the box, waste of resources. You can say that again. You can say that again, Funke. Waste of resources. You're going to see it. They wasted $50,000. Let's continue. Oh no. So what was the problem? Once the training ended, there was no follow-up conversations between the managers and the employees. Everybody went to status quo, just like Amara said. No follow-up conversations. So they've gone for the training. HR said we should go for training. We've done it. It's over. I'm so sorry for organizations that this is happening in them. Employees return to their old ways of handling customer complaints. Nothing changed. Excuse me, please. Leadership expected results, but there was no evaluation process in place to determine whether training, leadership expected results, there was no evaluation process in place to determine whether training or I think I missed up something, whether performance took place, whether training took place, whether there was even an impact. So sorry for that. I'm sure I edited something and I forgot to put what I wanted to put there. So they were saying, how will they get results when there was no evaluation? There was no evaluation process in place. How can you now determine? And I'm sure they're asking, did training really did anything really happen? Was value really added in this training? Are we going to even see an improvement in performance? Are we going to even see something different? Right? Now what happened? Let's look at what happened. Complaints from customers remained the same. It did not change. If I want to add pepper to it, it even improved. Kemi says, Joy says, a lot is expected from line managers in the 3 phases of training. You have hit the nail on the head, Joy. You have hit it on the head. A lot is expected from line manager in each of the phases. What do line managers do? They don't even do any. They don't even do any. I don't know if you can you still hear me, please? Amara, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, let me see someone else type something on the chat box again. Okay, thank you, Joy. Yes, thank you, Amara. Thank you. So, the problems remain the same. It did not change. Supervisors continuing their normal way, everyone to your status quo. They were still poor communication pattern. No one was tracking their progress. So everybody said, let's go and rest. No one is watching us. You know those things employees do. They feel that no one is reinforcing, no one is following through. They went back to their old ways. And guess what senior management was asking? You can imagine the question they're asking. HR, you're in trouble. See the question they're asking you now. They're asking you, why training wasn't working? Why is training not working? That's the question they're asking. HR answer. The HR people on this call, senior management is asking you a question. Say, why is training not working? We spent $50,000 to train the supervisors. Nothing has changed. Why is it not working? HR, are you ready to answer the question? HR is on hot seat today. Now let's move ahead. Let's look at the turning point. What was the turning point? Let's look at the turning point. HR now, after management finished HR had to go back. HR attended the Oracle's webinar. This webinar, HR attended this webinar and said, hey, Sandra, the Oracle has helped me. And so HR went back and HR turned things around and HR came up with the turning point. So this was what happened after HR finished attending my webinar. All the webinars we've been doing since January, HR went through the videos, the one she missed, he or she missed, went through it and they came back. Now let's look at the turning point. This was their turning point. This was what HR did. HR made sure line managers took ownership. HR realized that the problem was not the training, no. It was a lack of support from line managers. After they heard everything Sandra the Oracle said. Now, what was the new approach? Hamza said, you see line managers, now story for another day. They can be so uncooperative. And Hamza, I have the recipe. I have the solution to line managers. If there's time for me, after the webinar, if you wait behind, I'll give you the recipe. Because this is being recorded, because we're going to also put it on our YouTube channel. There is a recipe. You've not gotten the recipe. That is why. You've not gotten the recipe. There's a recipe for line managers. I've used it. I've you know what they say to use Nkwobi? I don't know if you know what is Nkwobi. To do their head with Nkwobi. Nkwobi. Nah. They will listen to you. They will listen to you. Let's go ahead. The new approach. Managers became active participants in training transfer effectiveness. How? This is how they became active participants. Let's look at the how. Don't worry. I see Hamza said, give me boss. No problem, Hamza. You're here. You're in good hands. Don't worry, I'll give you. Before training, this was what line managers did. They held pre-training conversations with supervisors. They held conversations to set the learning objectives. All those things they did not do right, they decided to do it now. Now, you're supposed to go for a training on customer service. Okay. Based on the challenges that your management said, there's so much complaints from customers that customers are complaining and a lot of things are going wrong. Now, what are the objectives that we would, out of this training, when you attend this training, what are the objectives? Now, before then even, they would have designed the things that they want to see. So these are a whole lot. Let me not go into pre-training. We will do it when we come to pre-training. But let's just continue, because if I start talking about it, pre-training can take 4 hours to talk about it. So let's leave it. So they had conversations to set the objectives. Employees were able to identify the real customer challenges, and they discussed with their line managers how the training they are going to attend will solve them. There's more than this, but this is some of the things they did before training. Now, during training, this was what the line managers did. The managers checked in with the employees what they were learning. After day one, they checked in on them. How far? What are you learning? Based on those things we agreed, is it meeting the objectives? If it's not meeting, let me know how to tell the trainer. We still have day 2 and day 3. They had that conversation. Employees were asked to document real examples of how training applied to their role. How the training applied to their role. They were asked to document it. So these were things that were done during training. Now let's move ahead. The turning point. We talked about the turning point, right? We are still in the turning point. After training, what did they do? The managers implemented a post-training action plan. And what was the requirement? That every warehouse supervisor, that skills they learned in customer service, they're going to apply it in customer interaction. Now, I told you because of time, I did not put everything. In doing training, there was what we call simulations. There were case studies whereby they brought the problem. This one, I've done it with my several clients. The real problem that they were facing, they turned it into a case study and they solved it in in the training that the line managers, the supervisor were saying, hey, this is really the problem we're having. So this is how we would have done it. So they were able to get the solution. Because of time, I cannot say everything. These are just some I'm just giving you. So after training, these were some of the things they did. There were also coaching sessions. The line managers were doing coaching sessions to ensure that these employees were using their new skills. And when I'm talking about coaching sessions, I'm a coach. I'm not talking of formal coaching, whereby you start, for formal coaching, you have to drop the objectives and all that. No, they were doing informal coaching sessions with them. They just go to meet them. Okay, what is happening? How far? All those conversations. You can have informal coaching sessions. It must not be more formal. What else? Performance reviews were incorporated. The performance reviews, they incorporated their KPIs to track the improvements. They ensured that it was a KPI for them to track improvements. Now, what was the outcome after it? This was the outcome. This is live and direct. What was the outcome? Customers' complaints dropped by 40% within 3 months. Am I hearing bells ringing now? Am I hearing yay? Employees, they said they were feeling more supported in applying their skills. Am I hearing yay? Okay, I can see Amara yay. Yes? When we do the right thing, we will rejoice. If you don't do the right thing, you will not rejoice. Now, leadership saw a clear return on investment and return on expectation on training investments. I hope you know ROI is different from ROE. I found out that a lot of HR and people did not know what ROE was. And they don't even know how to get it, return on expectations. What they know is only return on investment. Some don't even know how to calculate it. Please, assignments, go and read up on ROI and ROE. I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it in the webinar, but it will be later when I get to pre-training, when we are talking about it. But I'm going to show you a bit of it here just to help you. Leadership saw clear return on investment and return on expectations on their training investments. You can see really, leadership was very happy. Now let's look at the ROI. Let's look at the ROI. I just said let me put this in just to help people, because some will say, how did ROI? How did they see clear ROI and ROE? Now this is the ROI they saw. So first, ROI, which is return on investment, has to do with the financial impact. That's what it does. Did the company gain any business value? For instance, the revenue grow as a result of the training? Were there cost savings as a result of the training? So this is also to show you that training is not, how do they say it? How do they used to say it? A community, a child is trained by a community. Please, who knows that word? I've forgotten how they say it. A village trains a child or something like that. Please, if you know it, type it into chat or say it. But I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say, that a village trains a child, something like that. Please help me. Now, for you to get your impact on training, it takes a village to raise a child. Thank you so much, Amara. That is it. Yes, it takes a village to raise a child. For your training to have impact, it is not only HR. If you think you're the one to make your training to have impact, foul. It is everyone involved. Even the accounts department, even the people where the return on investment for this now, who is warehousing it? Who are the people which departments do you have handshake with that warehousing for you to find out how do we calculate the return on investment? It's not in HR. It's not HR that is warehousing it. So you need to know which department is warehousing it, and you have to have an handshake, have a conversation with that person, with the head HOU there. That is what ROI is. So let's move ahead faster. Sorry, excuse me. So in this example, customers' complaints dropped by 40%. Yeah. Customers' retention. Okay, in Yoruba says, "Eni koloma bimo ibo julonwo." I beg, let me not brutalize the Yoruba. Okay, thank you, Abubakar. Customer retention increased by 15%. Fewer phones and escalation, so there is cost savings on complaint resolution, and there are more satisfied customers. There were increased repeat of this business. Now let's calculate the return on investment. So let's calculate it now. Excuse me. So now look at this. So let's say, for instance, if the company spent $50,000 on training, And at the end, they found out that they gained $150,000 as a result of those things I listed, from reduced complaints costs, from higher customer retention, from repeat business and all that. The return on investment, the ROI is positive because they earned more than they spent. Now, this is the formula for ROI. The formula for ROI is net benefit over cost of training times 100 over 1. Now, what is net benefit? How do you get net benefit? To get net benefit, you have to deduct, that's your gain, from the cost of the training. That's how you get net benefit. That is how it is. So this is what we are saying. So let's see what our ROI is. So the net benefit was what? $150,000, right? Good. No, the net benefit, yeah. Then the gains, which is the gains minus the cost of training. Now, the gains is $150,000. What is the cost of training? $50,000, right? Good. Divided by what is our cost of training? $50,000. When you do that calculation times 100, what you get is 200%. I'll take that again. Now, ROI is our net benefit over cost of training. Now, what is our net benefit? Our net benefit is gains minus cost of training over cost of training times 100, which is the ROI. Well, our net benefit is gains minus cost of training. What is our gain? Our gain is $150,000. What is our cost of training? $50,000. Deduct that, you get a deduction. Times 100 over $50,000. That gives us 200%. So a 200% return on investment means that for every $1 spent on training, the company gained $2 in return. So now the ROI was positive. So you can imagine if we turn it the other way. They spent 150 and what they gained was 50,000. Is that not what? What is that? Is that not a negative? So that is ROI calculation. Good investment. Yes, Amara. Yes, it's a good investment. So let's move forward. Let's move forward faster. Please, you will permit me. I may take extra of your time. We're supposed to end at 8 p.m. Please permit me to take extra 15 minutes. Hope you don't mind, please. I'm very sorry. So we can finish this and just wrap it up. I hope that is okay. Scholastica says wonderful. Thank you. I hope that is okay. Am I permitted to take extra 10 to 15 minutes? Amara says it's okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. So let's look at the return on expectations. We've seen return on investment. Now let's look at return on expectation. Choma says it's okay. Thank you. You are all darlings. Thank you so much. Now, return on expectations. Now, what is ROE? Some of you may not have heard what ROE is. I get that a lot from a lot of people, that what exactly is ROE? What they know is ROI. ROE is called return on expectations. An expectation has to do with, management had the desired outcome they wanted for the business, not just the financial aspects. They also, and for sometimes ROI may not happen immediately for some trainings. So when I'm going through teaching again, I'm going to show you what we call the short-term gains, the medium-term gains, and the long-term gains. So that's another thing I also teach you and show you. So some trainings like a leadership training, you may not get the ROI immediately. ROI may come in medium term or even long term, right? The financial gains. However, you can get the ROE in short term. If one of the essence of the leadership training was to ensure that the managers were able to delegate, you can see managers, they come back, they're already delegating and empowering their people. You may not see the financial returns immediately, but if this continues sustainably, you will see it. So that's just on the side. So what is ROE, return on expectation? It's about achieving the desired business outcomes, even if you don't see immediately, if it doesn't immediately translate to financial figures, which is just what I just said. So it measures, did this training meet your management expectation? Did it meet the leadership expectation? Let's give an example. In this example, before training, leadership expected that supervisors should be able to handle complaints more effectively. Leadership expected that there should be an improvement in customer interactions with the warehouse supervisors. Leadership expected that there should be a reduction in the customer service escalations. After training, this was what leadership got. A 40% drop in complaints expectation. In complaints, was the expectation met? Yes. Warehouse supervisors start using new techniques for handling difficult customers' expectations. Difficult customers. Were the expectations met? Yes. Managers were now actively reinforcing training to sustain the improvements. This was a bonus. Let's go. There are more expectations. Okay. So ROE is qualitative and strategic. And so, what does it answer? This is what it answers. The training solved the business problem it was meant to address. Yes. Did the managers take responsibility for training transfer? Yes. The customer interactions significantly improved? Yes, it did. And so, was there an ROE? Yes. There was a return on expectation. So now let me show you a graphic representation. Maybe this would also help you. Let me show you a graphic representation of this. This was what leadership saw. This was what leadership saw. So I'm using the ROI versus ROE. The factors. So we look, ROI is looking at financial impact. ROE is looking at business impact. Now, customer complaints. ROI shows that yes, there was a reduction by 40%. With that, customers were happy. ROE was saying the goal of leadership, improved customer experience, was it achieved? That it was achieved. The next factor, escalation to senior management. There were cost savings because on conflict resolution. So there were fewer escalation, there was cost savings, which was what increased. You saw that 200%, right, for the ROI. For ROE, supervisors gained confidence, and so they were able to handle complaints independently without escalating all the time. Training effectiveness, there was more value from training budgets. ROE, training was seen as relevant and necessary. The financial outcome, savings from fewer complaints and escalations justified the training cost of $50,000, which was the ROI. The ROE, the training aligned with the business priorities, not just HR initiatives. Please, HR, not your initiatives, the business priorities. So there was cost for ROI, there was cost savings, there was revenue growth. For ROE, business expectations were what? Met. And so, wrapping up, what are the key takeaways from this case study? 1. Training doesn't fail because of bad content. Sometimes training doesn't fail because of bad content. It fails when managers don't support it. Line managers are the missing link in training transfer effectiveness, which I said earlier on. They are the art of training transfer effectiveness. If training isn't connected to real business impact, leadership will stop funding it. Are your training initiatives going to be stopped very soon? Are you tying your training to business impact? If not, get ready. Your leadership is going to stop funding your training very soon. I'm not cursing you. That's just what it is. Final reflection for each and every one of you. Are your line managers actively involved in training transfer? What is one action you would want your line managers that they will take to reinforce training, that reinforce learning? Just one action. If your managers aren't involved in training transfer effectiveness, your training investment is already failing. You need to change that now. I will take that again. If your managers aren't involved in training transfer effectiveness, your training investment is already failing. You need to change that right away now. And so I invite you to next week's webinar. We've not finished, right? I'm just trying to invite you before we continue. We've not finished. So I invite you to next week's webinar where we'll be discussing workplace environment in training transfer. We're going to be discussing that. So we're wrapping up now. I see a message. Joy says, for line manager to be intentional about their subordinate development. Yes, right on. Please start putting your takeaway. Thank you so much for that, Joy, for your takeaway. Put into chat your takeaways. I will still give you opportunity to speak if you want to speak. And so this is what my quote. A training program is only as effective as a line manager who reinforces it. Without managerial support, training remains an event. With training, With it, training becomes a catalyst for transformation. With it, training becomes what? A catalyst for transformation. I will take that again. I'm sure you can see it again. I don't need to take it. This is my quote by Sandra the Oracle, the Training Transfer Effectiveness Advocate. Funke says, ROE is as vital as ROI. Please say it again. No, Funke, say it again. I'm going to use this as a LinkedIn post. ROE is as vital as ROI, and that is what it is. It is as vital as ROI. A lot of businesses forget. They don't even know ROE. What they know is ROI. Now, what is your next line of action? It's now your turn. We are wrapping up gradually. What's your next line of action? You want to type in chat, or do you want to unmute your microphone? What's your next line of action from everything you've learned, from everything you've heard me speak today? What do you want to either stop doing, start doing, or continue to do? Continue to do maybe, oh, Sandra, thank you so much. I've heard of all these things, right? And I will continue on this, right? Or stop doing, Sandra, I've been taking ROI as the most important thing. ROE is not important. I'm going to stop doing that. Or you want to start doing, Sandra, I never even knew anything about ROE. Now I've learned about ROE. I will start making sure ROE is critical. So what is your next line of action? So that I don't waste time, I'll allow you to think about it, because I'm still coming back to that. Let me move on. At this time, what are the questions you may have? I see Chioma says, let me read it. They just came on so fast. So let me read what Chioma says before I read Amara's own. Chioma says, permit me please. Chioma says, discussions must be held for all 3 phases of training for effective training transfer to happen. Say it again. Chioma, go and use this for your LinkedIn and tag me along. I will hype it for you. Tag me. Amara says, when it comes to training, start with the line managers, continue with the line managers, and end with the line managers. You can say that again. Hype it on LinkedIn. Tag me along. Leadership has to be actively involved in training and development. Yes. Funke says, stronger collaboration with line managers is key. Please put this on LinkedIn. Tag me. Joy says, next line of action is getting it right at the pre-training phase. Yes. Don't worry, we will get to pre-training. Pre-training can take us a whole 2 months. Hey, pre-training, a whole 2 months of the webinar, because this is just like 1 hour. What can you learn in 1 hour? Can take us 2 months. So at this point, are there questions, please? If you have questions, type it into chat, or if you want to unmute your microphone. Are there questions? I think let me give opportunity for questions before I give the announcement, because the rest things left are announcements. Let me give opportunity for questions. Okay, so I see a question on the chat box. And Funke says, let me read it, please. Funke says, who notifies employees on their training plans? Is it HR or line managers? This is beautiful. Who notifies employees of their training plan? Is it HR or line managers? Now, I'm a coach. Funke, you're a coach too. Let me throw it back to you. She's called Agile Coach. Funke, let me bring you out now. She's called an Agile Coach. What do you think the answer is, Funke? What do you think the answer is? Who do you think should notify? Let me turn it again. Who should notify the employees of their training plan? Is it their line managers or is it the HR? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Funke is laughing. She put a laughing face. Who wants to try? That's how we do as coach. Coach, we use questions. Okay, let me answer because of time. Let me answer, because if I start doing coaching here, we will not go today. Let me answer because of time. Okay, Joy has already answered. Joy says line managers are responsible. Thank you, Joy. Now let me do this. Does HR know? Okay, Scholastica has also answered. The line manager after appraisal. Does HR know what employees are doing in their department? Do HR know? Is that your duty to know? Oh, okay. Maybe because maybe you're in a small organization, people are just 20. you may know what some people are doing. What about if you are in a multinational organization whereby you have 1,000 staff? You have 1,000 staff. Tell me, how do you want to know what everyone is doing? You want to start giving them their training plan. How do you want to do that? So now when it comes to the training plan, it's a discussion between who? The line manager and the employee. HR is just what's that word? Housing. HR just housing it. That's what HR does. I hope that answers your question, Funke. Okay, thank you so much, Funke. So I see another question. Let me just answer. Is it possible to have return on investment and not return on expectation? Amara, what do you think? Or maybe I should stop. What do you think? Should I stop using my coaching skill? Let me just go straight to answer because of time, Or I should still... A coach is always a coach. Amara, what do you think? Is it possible to have ROI and not ROE? Now, I want you to think about this first. What is ROI? ROI is the financial gain. What is ROE? ROE is the business expectation. So now let me just answer because of time. Yes, it is very, very important, and that is what is happening in a lot of organizations. Haven't you seen organizations whereby their environment is so toxic? People continue to resign, and management is complaining. HR, people are just resigning. High attrition. What do you want HR to do? Do you want HR to do magic? Is it HR that will do magic for you? And yet that organization, they are when it comes to their profits, every year they are declaring billions, they are declaring profits. It is ROI. Me, I advise organizations that I consult for and I train for. Go for ROE. ROI will definitely work, will definitely come. Do not go for ROI first. ROI is given if you get ROE. Now, if you do not get ROI, okay, let me take this again. When you show ROE is given. Yeah? When you show return on expectation, return on investment is given because it will show now. It will show, it translates, right? Good. Now, if you don't show ROE and you show only ROI, ROE will not appear because you focused on just financial. I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question, Amara. So I won't ask you for extra minutes. I just have 5 minutes. I'm going to just be fast with this. So I'm not going to ask you, have you already tried for giving me extra 15 minutes? The next question is, okay, thank you, Amara. Your question is answered. Line manager, okay. Well answered, okay. Are there any other questions? How do I make, okay, Joyce says, how do I make line managers intentional about the development of their team members? Joy, you have to wait behind though. Wait behind with Amzat. I will give you the recipe. Just wait behind with Amzat. I cannot start answering it now. I have just 5 minutes. I've begged you for 15 minutes. I cannot beg you for extra minutes again. So wait behind. After this, I'll stop the video and we'll talk. Thank you so much. Okay. So let's move ahead now. So if there are more questions, I would answer it later. So we have an announcement for you. Exciting announcement. I'm so glad to announce this to you. So we have as a business, so we have heads of HR, heads of L&D managers, directors of L&D reaching out to us that they needed this training transfer effectiveness I'm talking, that they don't know about it. I know these are senior people, of course, they cannot come out to say it, they say it behind. And so as a result of that, we are pleased to announce that we are starting a mastermind class. So the community is called the Applied Learning Community. So we are starting a mastermind class, and it is designed for directors and managers in HR, L&D, and training. It's like people that have this in their purview. If you're an L&D officer and your organization can pay for you to be here, that's fine. But it's basically for the directors, managers in HR, L&D, and training. Because if your L&D managers and trainers and directors don't know this thing, and you're coming to teach them, you're on your own, they will not listen to you. So they need to know it. A lot do not know it. So for that, so we are having an 18 weeks class So it's going to be a structured peer learning experience where you get to learn hands-on coaching and accountability to implement training transfer strategies in your organization, access to exclusive case studies, models, frameworks, and tools, a network of like-minded professionals solving real training challenges in the organizations. Now, if you want to move from training as an event to training that transforms performance, this is for you. And so the next cohort will start on Tuesday, May 6th. It's a duration of 18 weeks over 5 months, May to September, 18 weeks. And the method is virtual. So if you're interested, or you know your HR manager, your L&D manager, your director will be interested in this, send me a message or drop a comment for me on social media, or send an email to me. Yes, once a week. Yes, Amara, once a week. Every Tuesday from May 6th till September. So it's 18 weeks. Let's make training work for your business, not just your budget. That's what we want to do with this. Let's make training work for what? Your business and not just your budget. So if you have people that are interested in this, we are going to cover everything. So they are coming with a okay, so you didn't get that. Okay, let me take that again. I'm sorry. Joy says she didn't get that. Make training work for your business, not just for your budget. Is that what you're asking and you did not get? I hope that's what you're saying. If it is this, I can always wait behind to explain this program for you. So it's called a mastermind class. It's a 18 weeks class, and which by the train they are going to come with their training. They're going to have a project. They're going to bring a training that they've done or a training they want to do, and we'll take you through the whole phase, starting for the needs validation process model. From there, we go to the pre, we go to the during, we go to the post, and we are going to handhold them to see there is a return. We must see return on investment and return on expectation. Okay. Thank you, Funke. Funke said thank you so much, Funke. Thank you for coming. Funke is my agility coach. So the last announcement I want to make for you today is I'm glad to tell you that we are doing the very first Training Transfer Effectiveness Conference in the world. It has never happened before. Yes, it has never happened before. It's called the International Training Transfer Effectiveness Conference. It's holding in Lagos Oriental Hotel, November 13 and 14. Go to our website. You will see it. I'm going to drop it after this. Go and register. Do not miss it. It's going to be hybrid. For those that cannot come to Lagos, you can join online. We're expecting 700 participants, 400 in physical, 300 virtual. So we look forward to having you there. And these are the line of speakers. We have speakers globally coming from over 22 speakers from across the globe that will be speaking to us. Go onto our website. You see it, over 22 speakers from all over the globe going to be speaking to us. And these are the things you also be gaining. It is a two-day hands-on conference with industry experts across the globe, expert-led sessions, networking opportunities, coffee breaks and meals, book unveiling. We're going to be unveiling our book From Training to Transformation. We're going to be having exclusive discounts on different certifications. Certified Transfer Designer by the Institute for Transfer Effectiveness. Go and check how much it is. It's over 2,000 something euros. We're going to be having a huge discount on that. Kirkpatrick, Certified Kirkpatrick Professional, the bronze level. I have all these certifications. It's over close to $2,000 something. We're giving you a great discount on it. The Accelerated Learning Certification by the Center for Accelerated Learning, the same thing, thousands of dollars. We're going to be giving you discount on it. Then the IFC LPI TPM Trainer Certification by the International Finance Corporation and the LPI Learning Performance Institute, same thing, great discounts for you. Lastly, one of the action steps, you are to try one practical tip this week and share your experience with us next week. So what will you try this week based on all you've learned? And what will you get ready to share with us next week, Thursday? And I conclude by saying, old ways won't open new doors, yeah? Old ways won't open new doors, yeah? What will open new doors? New ways will open new doors. And on this note, we are depending on results. No more excuses. Don't give excuse here. No more excuses. Success doesn't come cheap. It comes with hard work. Are you willing to pay the price for success? The choice is yours now. What will it be? And on this note, finally, I want to say, be happy and feel good about yourself always. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you next week Thursday when we work on the workplace. And this is my detail in case you need to get in contact with me. I'm known as Coach Sandra, aka the Oracle, the Training Transfer Effectiveness Advocate. Thank you so much.